What up?
What up?
Welcome back to the channel. As an average climber who loves lifting, figuring out what my diet should look like has genuinely confused me for years. And I don't think that I'm alone in that. We're consistently being pulled in so many different directions when it comes to health and fitness and nutrition. Every corner of the internet has a different answer, a different guru, a different protocol that is supposedly the one you've been missing. And in the age of social media, it just gets worse because now you're not just hearing about it, you're seeing it.
No wonder we're all fucked up.
You're seeing people who appear to have it all figured out. The physique, the strength, the performance. Naturally, your brain goes, well, my brain goes, I want that too. And I'll be honest, like I'll admit it. My wish list I think is actually pretty ambitious. I want a great physique, six-pack abs. I want some thickums legs, a strong build that actually looks like I work out. I want to be strong in the gym, squatting like 400 pounds, deadlifting 600 pounds, hitting a 2-time body weight pull up, maybe do a 1-arm pull up, and also just genuinely be a good climber. I don't know, is that too much to ask for? I want to move well on the wall, send harder grades, have the endurance and power to climb at a high level consistently. Now, here's the problem I don't see many people really talking about. A lot of those goals really work against each other. If I actually commit to gaining the size and strength I needed to squat 400 pounds, there's a real chance I end up too heavy to climb. And if I lean out and stay light to optimize for climbing, building serious muscle becomes so much more hard. The tension is real, and pretending it doesn't, it's not really helping me. So then where does that leave someone like me? Somewhere in the middle of two very different worlds, getting advice from both sides, that was never designed for somebody in my position. On one side, you have bodybuilding and lifting community. High protein. We're talking, 200 grams a day, people are saying now. Aggressive cuts, aggressive bulks, everything optimized around body composition. Getting as lean as you can while holding on to as much muscle as you can. Great if your primary goal is how you look and how much you lift. But that's not really my only goal. On the other side, you have the climbing community where the focus is much more on fueling performance, prioritizing carbohydrates for energy and recovery, keeping body weight in check, not overloading on protein, eating to move well, not building mass. Both are very legitimate approaches. But again, both are just half the equation. I've tried both and genuinely gave each one a real shot. And honestly, for me, they contradict each other in practice. When I followed a high protein, bodybuilding style diet, I felt weak on the wall. My climb suffered. I didn't have the energy I needed to perform. When I flipped to a more climbing focused approach, with higher carbs, a little bit lower protein, I was still in the gym. And I couldn't build or hold on to the muscle the way that I wanted to. So, what's my solution? And I guess this whole video is kind of a long winded way at arriving at a pretty simple conclusion. Maybe it's just not that serious.
Why so serious?
Maybe the answer isn't picking a side, maybe it's splitting the difference. And I think this took me a lot longer to accept than I'd like to admit. It's finally time to take the time to actually learn my own body instead of just copying what somebody else does online. I did come across a study in some videos that I've been watching that suggests that you probably don't need as much protein as you may think. Typically, people do like 1.1 grams of protein per pound of body weight that you are. It's just one study, but based on my progress, how I've been feeling in the gym, and just how I've been looking, and how I'm kind of just happy with it. It's something I'm going to go with. I'm going to link it down below if you are interested in reading up on it yourself. And here's what I've discovered about how my own body works. I'm not saying this will be your answer, but it might be worth considering. I feel like my body responds significantly better to slow digesting foods. Like, I eat beans now, lentils, edamame, oats. When I fuel with those, I feel a lot more stable. I have better energy throughout my climbing sessions, better recovery, less spikes and crashes than before I was eating them. And so now I've stopped obsessing over hitting some massive daily protein target purely through meat and protein shakes. I'm not putting Greek yogurt or cottage cheese in everything just to chase a number. Instead, I'm eating oatmeal, I'm adding beans and legumes to my meals, getting protein in ways that actually make me feel good rather than hitting a macro target on paper. What are my results?
The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
I feel better climbing and I feel better lifting. I feel a lot more like myself. I will say, I am not a social media standard physique. I do not have a six pack. If I posted a shirtless picture of myself online, I'm sure plenty of people would have plenty to say about it. And that's just the reality of putting yourself out there. Everybody's got a highlight reel and they're all on full display. Now, I'm not trying to say anything negative about myself. I just know that if I were to attempt some sort of looks maxing type behavior and post myself online, that the keyboard warriors of social media would have some negative things to say about me. That's okay. But I genuinely feel great. I'm making real progress in the gym. I'm climbing harder. I'm eating a balanced diet that includes foods that I actually enjoy, including some things that never make it into clean eating meal plans, and I'm still moving in the right direction. I'm learning to enjoy the process, and that might be the most important shift of all. Not sprinting towards a result, and start actually paying attention to how I feel and how I'm performing and what my body is telling me to do. All that to say, I'm not gonna stop trying to hit all the goals that I want to. I do want to squat heavy and deadlift heavy, maybe just not so quickly, and maybe put those expectations, in check. I want to climb a lot better, and I think I can come up with a meal plan and a protocol that works personally for me that I can do both and combine the two together so that they complement each other. I'm going to stop copying protocols online. They're built for other people with completely different goals than me. I'm going to do a lot more research and, try lots of different things. And I'm going to learn what my body actually responds to. If you found this helpful, if you learned something, consider a subscribe. That was lots of talking for me. Give me bedtime now. Good night.
Another day, another dime, another rhyme, another dollar.